Today we're going to be talking about a new fun game called MazePop. Are you the type that likes fun little brain strategy games that don't take a lot of time to do? And so you could basically sit and wait for the bus, let's say, or the train, or for your friend to pick you up in a car, and you've got this little game right here, and you've got all these puzzles that you can work on. And so this little book right here in MazePop, it contains 60 puzzles for all of you puzzle fanatics. And this is a very portable game system. It has a bunch of pieces right here that represent mazes and obstacles. So the maze parts are things like this and this, right? So this is like a crosshatch right here. This is like you can go straight through right here. There's also the curved piece right here where you have to go through in this curved way. And there are also these obstacles or barricades, and they prevent you from moving through them. With these obstacles and pathway tiles, you can create a lot of different mazes for you to try to solve. So the goal is to try to start on your maze from one end of the star piece and try to traverse your way to the other end of the star piece. Now, if this were the only piece on the board, you would be able to easily do this, right? So here's how it works. I'm going to show you right here. First, we're going to reset all of the pieces, and I'm going to show you in like a high-level version how easy something like this is with just one piece. So here, we've got a magnetic pen, and we basically just lift out the piece that we want right here, and then we follow the dots of the maze, and we eventually get to the other side, right here. Now, you can imagine with all of these different obstacles and pathway tiles, it's going to be pretty challenging, especially in the later levels when you have all the pieces on the board. So what kinds of things are we looking at here? Let's just put some of these things together and you'll get an idea, a sense of what we're looking at here. I'm just going to place a lot of different pieces through here, and then you can see for yourself like how crazy this game could be. So let's see, I'll put this here, and I'll put this here, and yeah, so I think for some of these puzzles, there might not be a solution that, well, if I create the puzzle, but in the game book, it's got all these puzzles that are solvable. So here, let's just say you've got like something like this. Now it's a lot more challenging. Now to get from point A to point Z is a lot more challenging. Now, why is this challenging? Why can't you just start from here and just wrap around and go here? Well, here I've got these pink and blue pieces. You have to go through the pink and blue pieces through each of the entrances and exit ways. So that's the challenge, right? So if you didn't have to go through these multicolor pieces, then it's easy. You just go start to finish right here. Right? So start to finish or start to finish. It doesn't matter which way is the entrance, which way is the exit. But you do have to go through each and every tile that has a pathway, right? So, and you have to go through all the pathways to be able to complete the maze. So you can try to like start off right here, like, okay, let's go here. And let's move to, let's say here. Whoop, you can't go diagonally, by the way. So you can go up, down, left, and right only. And then we're going to go across here. Now, another thing is you can't have a maze path where the pathways are next to each other. So that's another challenge right here. You can have them diagonally touch on the path, but not next to each other like that. So this is a straight up and down, two pathways are meeting here. So this one's going through here and this coming out here, and now we're going to have this pathway that's parallel to here. So you can't have that happening. So this maze would be invalid. So yeah, it's a lot more challenging than it looks. It's a lot more challenging than it sounds. And with some of these puzzles, they can be like real brain teasers. So let's go through some of these puzzles that are in the book, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's begin with how to play this game, and we'll see some sample mazes from this Thinkfun MazePop book. So here is the instruction manual that doubles as both the instruction manual and also all of the different puzzles that are in here. There are 60 puzzles in all, and yeah, we'll start off with that. So this is like a combination, remember those fidget toys with the bubbles, and you push the bubble in and it feels so satisfying? You've got the same thing here. So this is a combination of like a fidget toy with the bubbles along with a brain strategy game. So that's pretty cool. So here are all the pieces right here. the multicolored path pieces as well as the barricade obstacle pieces. And if you look at the instruction manual, the first bunch of pages basically has all of the rules, the instructions for how to play this game. And you'll see that you always start off with a star piece, and you can go in any of the 4 directions, north, south, east, west. You cannot go diagonally, as you see here, so you can't just pop a path that goes diagonally. You have to go up and then left and then down, and then the only way you can go diagonally is through the path pieces here. So yeah, so in other words, if you were to go blip, 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 you want to go through here, you want to go up, you want to go up, left, left, down, up, and then left, and that's the path. So other instructions are, you cannot have a path that's adjacent to another path like this. You can have it on a diagonal, but not adjacent. So here's what I mean by that. So you can go up here and go around here, and you'll see that these 2 pieces are adjacent diagonally, but they are not next to each other. If the person decided to go down one, and then right, and then up, that would not be allowed, because then these little beads would be adjacent in parallel to the path that we created. So you want to try to avoid being adjacent to any existing path. Very cool. Okay, so very simple rules, and if you have a path piece like this, you want to be able to use all the paths to go from the start to the finish. You can't just skip a path. So for example here, you can't just go here, and then down, and then to the left. You must go through all the paths of every path piece. So very simple instructions, and it gets harder when you have more path pieces that you need to go through. And so let's start off with the first puzzle. So the first puzzle is very easy, and it basically sets us up with like an introduction to the game. So here, let's just place these pieces here. I'll show you how easy it is to set up the game too. So here, we just basically copy what you see here on here. And yeah, so it's something like this, and then we need a single piece that's like this. So this should mimic this, and then we can start the gameplay. So here we can start at either end, here or here. Let's just start here. And then we just basically click a path that goes from the start piece to the end piece. And you hear I'm using this magnetic tip to basically pull the marbles out, the little beads, you can say. And I'm creating the path. And there we go. So to check your answer, the answers are in the back, and let's take a look at how we did. So if your path matches the path that's here, and it does, then you've succeeded. So yeah, great. So now we can proceed to the second puzzle. So how to set up for the second puzzle, you just remove all these pieces, and then you've got your fidget toy. And there we go, that's how we reset. It's so easy to reset. So now for the second puzzle, we will copy what you see here onto here. So let's get that star piece again. And the star piece this time is this way. And we put that here. And then we also have that dual curve piece, and that goes here. And then we have this piece that goes here. We have a 2 piece that goes here, and there's 2 rows in between it. And then we have the 3 piece that goes here. So let's plan out a strategy of what to do. So I think we have to go like something like this. Yes, so here we go. It goes like this. Boop, 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 boop. And that's it. Now, if you had gone up and right, that would be wrong, right? Because then you'd be adjacent to this, right? So, and you can't go diagonally. You have to go up, down, left, or right. North, south, west or east or west. You cannot go diagonally. So, no northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest type directions. So here, the second puzzle, you see the solution matches what I just did right here. So very, very cool. So we solved the second puzzle. Now, let's try to go for something harder, right? So let's presume that this is kind of easy, right? And so we want to go to, say, puzzle number 10. Okay, so puzzle number 10 right here. Let's make our maze look like this. And it introduces a new piece, this triple piece. So you have to go through all the paths of the triple piece. So here we go. That's most satisfying, I think. So let's start off with the star piece again. This time we want the star piece like so, right here with 2 rows or 2 columns of holes here, and then we want the 3 piece right here. We want the 2 piece right here. We want this piece right here. We want this triple piece. Let's see, where does it go? It goes here, I think. Yes, it does. Okay, so basically just look to see that your maze looks like this maze right here, and then we can begin. So let's pre-plan this before we attempt to solve. So which way looks easier to you, going from here to here or going from here the other way? So to me it looks like it might be easier if I go, it looks like it might be the same on both. So this is what we have to think about. We cannot have adjacent rows of beads, so we have to go through this somehow, right? So we have to probably go through something like this and go up here, but then we'll hit that. So let's see. No. Okay. Maybe it's easier this way. Yes. Huh. That might be a stumper. Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. So there's no overlapping or adjacent pathways, that is. There's just this one here that's diagonal, and that's allowed according to the instructions that are here. It says right here that diagonals like this, adjacent diagonally, is allowed. However, this would not be allowed. So if I had a piece that was like closer to here, then it would not be allowed. So yeah, if I went up and then left, that would not be allowed. But I went to the left and then up, and then that's allowed. So let's take a look at the solution and see if it matches ours. So here's the solution right here, and yes, indeed, that is how they solved it as well. So yes. So what they're implying here is that there's only one solution to every puzzle, right? So at least that's how they designed it. So yeah, you can like create your own mazes, but then you have to kind of plan everything. You have to make sure that the maze is solvable. So you can't just willy-nilly put these pieces in there and then challenge your friend and say, hey, can you do this? You should really kind of think about where to position the pathway pieces and where to position the obstacle pieces and try to make sure that your puzzle's solvable. If you can solve the puzzle and it's a valid solution, then you can go ahead and show it to the world. So yeah, this is a pretty cool game, I think, and the price is right. It is only $15. So Thinkfun MazePop, $15. So cool. And you can buy this on Amazon or in Barnes & Noble. So I will provide the links below so you can see where to get it. And yeah, you can then have your very own version of MazePop. This is a wonderful game for kids ages 8 and above. It's also for adults, so don't just think it's just for kids, right? You'll be able to stimulate your mind with something like this. I love little puzzles and brain teasers and things like that, strategy games like this. So yeah, I like games that don't last a long time, so I can like just think about it for a moment and then I can set it aside. So yeah, if you're that type of person too, then I think that this game will be right for you. Now, some of you might think that it's a little too easy, right? But You know, you can always search the internet for more advanced puzzles than what you see in here. If you look at the 60th puzzle, right? The 60th puzzle is probably no joke, and it's not. So here's the 60th puzzle right here. Now you've got like a maze that's full of just the multicolored tiles, the pathway tiles. And you have to go through each and every one of them through all the points in the path. That's not easy. So yeah, pretty darn cool. So everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.